SIFU is quite possibly one of the hardest games I've played in quite a while, and it seems that way for a lot of players that are just jumping into this for the first time, and they probably have a few misconceptions when jumping in. But in today's video, I want to give my thoughts and impressions on SIFU. It's going to be a periodic series that I do, depending on some of the games that I'm playing, whether or not I get to, play a full amount of the game, or I get to, play and make guides on it. But today, we're covering SIFU. Now, I've had around about 10 to 12 hours with the game, probably even a bit more than that, since Sunday when it went into early access release and then full release on Tuesday. And by God, this game is brutal. That's the first thing I need to just say when it comes to the impressions. If you are coming into this game for the first time, don't expect it to be this beat 'em up martial arts like amazing game that you can just keep smashing buttons and then you're going to be able to win. This game has a steep learning curve when you get to the club, which is the second area, and there isn't actually too many areas in the game. There's only 5 total. I have only made it to the end of the third one, which is the museum. And the reason why I'm not, doing a full review on the game is because the game is kicking my ass, guys. And that aspect is a high for some people, a low for other people. But for me, I think the beauty in the game so far when it comes to its difficulty and its challenge is the fact that it gives you the ability to learn things about all of the levels. I've really gone through and mastered the first level quite a lot, understanding attack patterns, understanding the dodge and avoid system, and really taking advantage of what the game has to offer. But also on top of that, if you grind enough of that first level to get a bunch of XP, you unlock a whole host of different focus attacks and also other abilities that will make your time easier. Now, that being said, there are some levels in this game that still kick my ass. I'm still trying to learn the museum fight, and I know that some of the areas are a little bit harder than others. But yeah, that's just my overall thoughts on the difficulty. Art style, though, I think this game is probably one of the coolest looking games that I've seen in a while. If we talk about how the art style is, it's very much like a wash color painting, and it's not too in your face. There's, very minimal HUD. You can see your health bar up in the left, and then you can see your focus bar down in the bottom left. And it's just the places that you go to alongside the music are very much inspired by the kung fu films of old. There's actually an Old Boy reference that you do get to see in the first level. If you have seen that, it's a very prominent Japanese martial arts film where a guy literally goes down a corridor and beats up about 16 to 17 people, and you get a little bit of that in this, which is really cool. And then if you look at the locations, the stumps, which is the first area you're in, is very much slums, and then you go to the club and there's just pumping music with a combination of a bit of a dojo style when you come to the boss fight. And then the museum is even more crazy. The art style in the museum gets even wackier when you get to the further lengths into the mission. But I do think that the art style overall is absolutely incredible. Now, when it comes to gameplay, I've talked a little bit about difficulty and challenge. This game is satisfying. You feel every hit when you start to flow things together, whether it comes to combos, avoiding attacks, and punishing those attacks. You feel very much like a kung fu master. The bosses will humble you for sure, but there are just enemies that you'll go up against and you're like, okay, what are you going to do? And you can read their attack patterns. When you learn them enough, you can dodge out the way and then really punish them, sweeping the legs, hitting them in the face, going full Ip Man on them. If you've seen that film, it's very, it pulls a lot of inspiration from those kung fu films. And especially when it comes to interacting with the environment, you can hit people into walls, you can use different bottles or weapons that you can pick up. You really feel like the whole environment is at your disposal, but it's also at the disposal of the enemies. If you drop a weapon, they will go and pick it up and start using it against you. Or if you get pushed back over like a little mini ledge and you fall over, you will take some structure damage to that. And I think that the avoid system and the dodge system is a little bit confusing at first to understand. There's a high-low when you come to dodging, but once you master that and you try to really sit and learn a lot of the attack patterns, especially the first boss, I feel like I could beat that boss if I really tried without taking a single hit, and absolutely punish them relatively easily. And then the second boss, you know, that's another one where you really have to learn the encounter. And obviously I've touched on difficulty already, but the gameplay plays into that. They're kind of one in the same. Now, is this a game that I would recommend to people that want a hard challenge and a bit of difficulty in their games? Yes, I would highly recommend this. If you really enjoy Dark Souls games, or you enjoy roguelites that punish you for not being that great in the beginning, but if you're coming into this for a beat 'em up, or you just want to try it out, I would avoid this, because you're not going to have the experience that the trailers show off, unfortunately, and that's just something that the game and the art direction of the game has decided to choose. You may have fun, you know, in the first level or so, mastering that, and then there's a massive difficulty spike. I know people have speed run this game, and it's taken them about 40 minutes without even getting a hit. And those are just some nutty people. And you'll get that with games such as Elden Ring coming out. With these types of games, like roguelites and stuff, it's only a select target audience that people are heading for. And I'm in that. I really enjoyed my time with SIFU. I'm going to keep playing it on the off and on. I don't know whether I'll finish it at this point during the year. Some point when there's a bit of downtime. But yeah, once again, if you are into these types of games and you want to try this out and see and have a go at a difficult challenge, then I would recommend picking this up. But if you're just coming into this for a beat 'em up, or just a regular martial arts game, then you are going to be a little bit disappointed, unfortunately. But those are just my thoughts on SIFU. This is my first impressions video of the year. I intend to do more of these. So yeah, hopefully this has helped inform your decision. If it has, please make sure you hit a like button on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on the notification bell as always. And this has been Jimbo, and I'll see you guys next time.